Clegg was struck.
Obviously, the boy did that to himself.
What?
I would have tucked the gun away to stop it.
We can deduce where the shot originated.
The very spot I occupied on stage. The death threat.
Pay for betraying me.
Isn't it a bit funny that it says that?
There's no disputing where the shot was fired, but when the shot was fired.
The gun used in the final scene of the play was a real gun. Why would he want to kill someone in front of all them witnesses?
Let's get to the bottom of those two curiosities.
What next?
I'm curious about the screen.
Okay.
Scream.
So, if Blaze were dead as a doornail, but already before it went dark, she'd have a hard job screaming, eh?
The most obvious explanation is that it was someone else who screamed. So, Lucy, who do you think actually let out the scream in the darkness? It could have been...
What?
It could have been either... What are our suspects here? I'm seeing Destiny, Bray, Roscoe...
Yeah, Clegg is his last name. His first name is Bray.
You have an unknown admirer, which I don't think...
And then we have...
going to...
And then we... Gloria didn't scream. So the only other...
We know that.
Female
The only
here.
people we can think of is either Bray or Destiny.
I think it's Destiny, because it was a female voice.
That is true.
So if people thought it was her, it would be a female voice. So maybe it was Destiny. I think it's Destiny.
That's some pretty good deduction.
I'm sorry. Am I solving it too fast?
No, not at all.
Well, if it weren't Blaze who screamed, the only other possibility is that Nox lass.
Yeah, because you don't know if it was a random member of the audience. And why were they screaming help at that exact moment?
Quite. Neither Strapping nor Clegg could have convincingly imitated a woman's scream. That's not quite the whole story. We already have evidence to suggest that Strapping told Nox to scream.
We do?
We do? Yes, it's all there in the suspect
Oh, we
statements.
never looked at the suspect statements!
Which statement tells us when Strapping was probably told Nox to scream?
We gotta look at the statements. Hold on. Okay, here's all the statements, so let's look at them. Wait. Hold on, let's look at all the statements real quick. Okay. After my exit, I went straight back to my dressing room. I only realized something was wrong when I heard a gunshot. When I came back onto the stage, the lights were up, and Destiny was holding Gloria in her arms. I knew she was dead in an instant. And then Gloria,
After the blackout, I heard Gloria scream. I'd know her scream anywhere. She's my absolute idol. It was definitely her. After the scream, I heard a gunshot right next to where I was standing. It was pitch black, so I couldn't see anything. I just remember being utterly terrified.
Alright, I'll take this voice.
okay.
When he made me exit from stage, Mr. Strapping bumped into Destiny. I panicked a bit because it wasn't in the script.
Sorry, I completely forgot about reading the witness statements.
I heard a woman scream, but then I was attacked by someone who knocked me out. I didn't see the killer's face. When I came to, there was a gun in my hand.
So I'd say this statement.
It was during the bump.
I'd say that's it, because it wasn't in the script.
Exactly.
Yep, Mr. Strapping's bumped into Destiny. That sounds dead fishy, it does.
Agreed. Knocking her over would have given him ample time to tell her what he wanted her to do.
What? What? So Nox was an accomplice? accomplice then?
Not exactly. If she were really his accomplice, she would have plotted the whole thing together from the start.
Aye, why didn't they? That's a bit odd, isn't it?
It seems there's yet more to this case than meets the eye.
There's so many unanswered questions that I'm trying to figure out, because like there's the note. There's the fact, I mean, the remote was in the trash bin, which means she didn't use it, but why was it in the trash bin in the first place?
That's a good question.
And then there's the oil stain that still hasn't been answered.
That's what's confusing me.
I'm confused by a few things.
Okay, next would be the shot in the dark.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. I'll stop. Copyright. That should be less than 10 seconds. I should be okay.
Let's get this straight. If Lays were killed during the performance, what were the shots that everyone heard when the lights went out?
I guess as I was fired by Strapping as a part of the whole deception. There's sure to be evidence on the scene somewhere that proves he fired a second shot.
I'd best get looking then.
Would it be the fake gun?
It's possible?
Do we want to check the fake gun? Like,
Yes, let's check the fake gun, because remember, there's 6 within a revolver and there's 5 within there.
is there 5 in here? It just says
It's a replica gun.
It just says it's swimming in oil. I mean, this is the evidence. It's the only thing that makes sense,
It's the only thing that makes sense.
right?
It's the only thing that makes sense, because the real gun has 5 out of the 6 shots.
And a second bullet wasn't heard.
This is what he used. Strapping must have used this replica gun, no? I bet that's it.
Let's see. The prop gun was found behind the set. He would have had to work his way round to knock out Plague from here then, if you're right. Is there any evidence you can find that would support that idea, Lucy? The oil stain!
Oil! Oh, that makes sense now. He would, because it was pitch black, he'd have to guide himself in the dark.
So he would have dragged it across to guide himself.
Because, so the reason he dragged his hand across, and the reason there's oil stains on it is because it's the lubricant from the gun.
These oil stains are a bit telling, aren't they?
Ah, yes. That must be from the oil used to lubricate the gun.
He must have been running his hands along the back of the set here to feel his way in the dark.
Without a doubt. That's how Strapping worked his way over to where Clegg was. He rubbed around in the dark until he located him, then hit him and knocked him out.
Nasty stuff.
This shows us the person who had the replica gun passed this way. In other words, it proves that Strapping crossed behind the back of the stage in the dark.
Slow down with some of your reading. You don't need to read it all so quickly.
We're getting closer, Prof.
You're doing great. I'm just saying, like, you're just going so fast to say your lines. You don't need to.
We've honed in on the truth, it seems.
And prove that Strapping's the killer.
Oh, that's the phone.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Yeah, but there's still the note.
It were forensics. They said the remote switch weren't pressed, just as we thought.
Oh, the music went off. A switch to detonate the squib of fake blood. It was concealed in Blaze's outfit. Investigations confirmed the switch was not pressed on the day in question.
That clinches it.
Shall I call Strapping in?
There's still something that's troubling me a little, but I'm sure we've got enough. Yes, call him in.
I can't tell you how much I've been waiting for this.
I feel like we solved this one really quickly.
I think we did too.
Maybe we'll do 2 cases. We'll see.
Well, what are we sitting at? It's almost 8:30.
Yeah, it's been about 30 minutes. Okay. Confrontation time. I wasn't expecting you'd want to see me quite so soon, precious.
Don't get the wrong idea, Mr. Strapping.
God, I actually just gagged.
Come now, don't be bashful. I like a woman who takes the bit between the two. Ew!
Ugh.
I'm telling you, this is strictly business.
Mr. Strapping, if I may, you have managed to identify the criminal responsible for murdering your fiancée.
I knew it! Didn't I tell you it was someone from the audience, eh? Tell me that wretch's name! It's you. You're the wretch.
It's Roscoe.
You're the wretch.
It's Strapping.
You suck. And you're disgusting.
The killer, Mr. Strapping, was you! Was you!
Oh, precious. If you wanted to get my attention, there are much more effective ways, you know.
No, Mr. Strapping. Lucy is quite serious. He killed Miss Blaze.
What a disappointment. You really are an artless pair.
I've already laid it out to you on a platter.
The killer was hiding in the audience. He or she, or they, made their way onto the stage in the darkness and pulled the trigger. With one fateful bullet, my darling's heart was pierced, and our love went asunder. Oh, woe!
Sorry, but that doesn't stack up. It'd be almost impossible to have killed her with a single shot. And here's why.
It was pitch black on stage, right?
Yeah.
It was pitch black on stage. Sorry, I got thrown off by the murder weapon was a gun.
Yeah, I got thrown up by that too. I chuckled
yes,
at that.
Yes, it was a gun. But she didn't put up a fight.
You can't put up a fight against a bullet.
I have put the wrong answer for this before. Yes, the floor is made of floor.
When the gunshot was heard, the stage were in total darkness. How could anyone have taken aim when they couldn't even see what to aim at?
Oh yes, I remember you suggesting that idea before. In which case, surely the accusation of my own guilt
needs a sticky end, no?
On the contrary. It was precisely the fact that Miss Blaze was killed with a single bullet that incriminates you, Mr. Strapping.
I am quite sure I don't follow. An explanation, sir, if you please. You shot the gun in the show.
Mrs. Blaze weren't killed during the blackout at all, were she? No, her life ended a few moments earlier. On stage, during the finale of the show, in front of a full house.
What a fantastic idea! Your imagination is wasted on this job, precious. You should hand in your notice and become a dramatist.
There's not imagined about it.
Then, great hell, how do you explain the blood-curdling scream that pierced the darkness? every member of an audience, of the honest audience in this full house which you speak, heard a woman scream.
Who screamed at everyone here? Destiny.
Destiny. They heard a woman scream, it doesn't mean it was her.
I'd be willing to bet that it were Miss Knox that screamed. I'd be willing to bet that it were Miss Knox that screamed.
What rot? You're actually clutching at straws now? Everyone actually there said that it was Gloria who screamed.
That's just because when the lights came back up, they saw Miss Blaze lying dead on the stage. Faced with a scene like that, who wouldn't assume that it would have laughed at the scream?
And before the lights went out, we bumped into Miss Knox. It's in Mr. Clegg's statement.
Wait. Sorry, so choking.
That's when you told her you were going to need her to scream once you cut the lights.
You are quite deluded. This is utter fabrication.
We're not deluded at all. You know it's the truth. Stop trying to deny it.
I have absolutely no recollection of anything you're saying. Your so-called evidence is all circumstantial. Do you actually have any concrete proof at all? I haven't seen a shred of hard evidence.
Oh, we've got proof, all right. How about this to start this?
Well, you shot her, it would be the remote. The remote. There it is.
That was a lot of scrolling.
It was a lot. I was like, why is there so much evidence in this one part? Isn't that Squib? Isn't that the Squib remote?
Which should have been carried by Miss Blaze for her to push the button in time with you firing the blank.
But
Mr. Strapping...
That's me. Oh. But Mr. Strapping, the button were never pressed. So it's a bit hard to explain where all of that blood came from in the final scene, eh?
No, that can't.
There's only one explanation for it that makes any sense. I think you know what that is, don't you, Mr. Strapping? She were bleeding because you shot her with a real gun.
Oh. Clearly Gloria just forgot to take the remote control with her that time.
There's no way out of this, Mr. Strapping. You can't explain it away. You shot her, no question.
Nonsense. That was fast. Oh, wait. Oh, we're not done. Okay. Encore.
You what?
You overwhelmed me before with your barrage of illogical claptrap, but now I've received my poise. I'm not guilty, I was framed! Clegg was behind the whole thing!
I don't care much for your constant ducking and diving, Mrs. Strapping.
I had no idea. When I pulled the trigger, I thought it was a replica gun. But oh, what a cruel error! I only realized my mistake after the fatal deed was done. It was the recoil that alerted me to the truth.
I've just about had it. I've had just about enough of your lies. You can't trick us anymore.
Oh, but my dear Lucy, he's telling the truth now. very carefully arranged for a real gun that looked exactly like the replica to be there at the scene. Yes, that part of all this was very much a premeditated crime. But everything that followed...
Sorry, I'm geeking out over the voice. It's so good.
That wasn't driven by lust, nor by heartache, nor by insanity, even. No, the fall was nothing more than an ad-libbed scramble to hide the truth.
He's angry.
Come on, Prof. You're not saying that there was someone else involved in that. There was someone else involved that switched the guns over.
Oh, yes. There was someone else involved. The mastermind behind this whole charade. Just the sort of killer I like.
You're getting rather carried away in your soliloquy. But despite your crazed demeanor, I believe you've got to the truth, Inspector. Indeed, the root of all this evil is Clegg. He were the one who switched the guns. After all, the man was head over heels in love with Gloria.
Bit of a funny way to show it, isn't it?
Why then, you ask, did he need to kill Gloria in front of a theater full of onlookers? The answer, of course, is staring you all in the face.
Hey, enough of your high and mighty know-it-all attitude, eh? You're the guilty one, don't forget it. Don't forget it.
Guilty? Moi, au contraire. I am a victim in all of this.
Listen, you two, yapping like dogs. Am I going to have to cut out your tongues to get you to shut up?
There's really no need for violence, Inspector.
Oi, keep your hair on, bro.
So, strapping.
Yes? What is it, sir? He sure got respectful quickly.
You pulled the trigger of what you thought was a replica gun and shot a bullet right through Blaze's heart. Then, to avert suspicion, you cut the lights and had Nox scream as you fired off a blank. And just to be sure, you fumbled your way over to Clegg, knocked him out, and put the gun in his hand. Isn't that how it happened?
To the letter. Bravo, Inspector. A brilliant deduction.
You're admitting it now. I didn't think you'd fall that easily. Ugh. So you're a coward as well as a crook.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I did it for justice. Direct your scorn at Clegg. He switched the guns. He is the true criminal.
Clegg switched the guns? Don't make me laugh. Remember Blaze's dead body. That mouse of a man doesn't have the flair for such an inspired death.
Inspired death, eh?
Oh yes! Inspired and beautiful. The final scene. The audience on the edges of their seats, then POW! Shot through the heart. Blood spilling everywhere. The stage awash with crimson glory. Magnificent, wouldn't you agree?
Is this fellow quite alright? What are you talking about?
They're not magnificent about murder, Prof.
You don't see.
No, I do not. And I don't much want to. Not the way you're seeing things right now, anyhow.
At least you're plucky. Think, Lucy. Who is the mastermind behind this crime? And what is the evidence that proves it? You've both seen the evidence already. It couldn't be more plain.
Okay, so we know Roscoe didn't, and Clegg didn't. So our leftover options are Destiny, a random person, or Blaze. Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to press her. I just was like... So who do you think it is?
I've got no clue.
Let's look at the evidence. Because I know who did it, but I don't want to say because I feel like that's cheating because I know the outcome of the case. So. Bloodstain. Well, wouldn't it be like? Here's the thing that's still suspicious. There's two.
The death threat was never solved.
Oh. So Roscoe didn't betray her. I'm sorry, she didn't betray Roscoe, but Roscoe did betray her. He cheated on her.
Yes.
What if... Wait a minute. Okay, and she didn't take out the remote in the first place. Why wouldn't she take out the remote? Unless... You can see where I'm getting at?
No, I do not.
Why would she not take out the remote? Unless she knew blood was going to spill anyways, without the input of the remote. Unless she knew she was going to get shot for real.
But why would she do that?
Revenge against Roscoe? Think the note. You'll pay for betraying me.
That's very true. Do we want to try it?
I'm fine with that. I can't think of anything else. Like, Destiny, possibly, but I don't know why she'd want Gloria dead. She's the one cheating on Gloria's man. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense, right?
It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Which piece of evidence reveals the true mastermind behind the case?
The note, right? You'll pay for betraying me.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, the note isn't here, so it's the remote switch. Because she didn't take it out on stage in the first place.
That is a... Oh.
Like I was saying, why would she not take the remote out on stage? She needs it to activate the blood. It would ruin the show if she forgot it.
That's true. Go for it.
That's it.
It was Gloria Blaze! She was the mastermind behind...
Her name makes sense too. Glory ablaze, like going out with the blaze of glory.
It was Gloria Blaze! She was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
She really did.
And the remote control proves it.
Do you get it? You've really lost the plot now, precious. Gloria is the victim of the terrible crime, not the perpetrator.
Lucy's absolutely right.
Thank goodness. You're back, Prof.
Sorry if I alarmed you. Yes, the remote control we found discarded in the rubbish bin.
Yeah, also the remote control was in the trash bin. It's not just her forgetting the remote. It was discarded. It was thrown out.
What if Miss Blaze threw it away on purpose?
What a ludicrous suggestion! Why on earth would she do such a thing?
Because Miss Blaze planned all of this right from the start. She was responsible for switching the guns.
She knew she were going to be shot dead that day. So she had no use for the remote control.
That's just nonsensical. I don't understand. Why would Gloria orchestrate her own murder, for goodness sake? That's because of the note.
Yes. What was going through Miss Blaze's mind to make her take such extreme measures? The answer to that is written in the message which you have already seen with your own eyes.
What message? What message?
The message that Miss Blaze wrote to you and left for you to find. Lucy, would you care to explain?
It's the note. Are you lost? Hun, are you lost?
No.
I just think this is super cool. Like, you'd never suspect the victim.
You'll pay for betraying me. That's what Miss Blaze wrote, and she meant the message for you.
Is this starting to make sense now?
Not the affair, but she wouldn't have killed herself like this because of a silly affair. You'd have to be out of your mind.
I think it's fair to say that Miss Blaze was not so sound of mind. Driven to madness as she was, Mr. Strapping, by you.
Because she broke her heart. He broke her heart.
People do some crazy things over a broken heart.
Oh my god.
Al, are you there?
Oh, hello, Detective Lawson. Have you got some new info for us?
Yes, I have. The lads have found a typewriter in Blaze's room, identical to the one you used to type the note you found.
She really... Oh my god. Sorry.
And they've proven it was Blaze who ordered the gun, too. That's the proof we needed.
Lovely job.
Would have guessed the victim was the mastermind behind the whole thing? I'm amazed you figured it out. So tell me, exactly who did figure it out,
What do you mean? The prof and me, of course. Who else?
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't follow.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to have to leave.
Oh? It's not like you to head off so early, Prof. Everything all right?
Yes, perfectly. It's just a program I'd like to see on the television. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Okie dokie. See you later.
Bye, Al. Nice work.
I bet the prof's jiggered after all that excitement.
Excitement? What do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. When he starts getting on a roll with his questions and that, he changes. It's ever so sudden when it happens.
I see. And how does he change exactly?
Thank you, Unlock Parks, for following. Like you wouldn't believe. For starters, his hair goes all wild and disheveled. It hangs down in front of his eyes. It's that creepy it is. Makes him look evil, it does.
I see. Anything other than his hair that changes about him?
Oh, aye. It's his whole personality. That's the worst bit about it. It's the way he says stuff, I suppose.
He's very passionate about crime. Like, the way he was describing, he's like, he describes murder like it's a work of art. To be fair.
He gets a high and mighty and Marty and, well, it's just plain scary, truth be told. I mean, do you know what he said to me and the fellow that were here before when we were arguing?
No. What?
He said we were yapping like dogs and that he'd have to cut out our tongues. And he were being serious.
You can't blame the man for having a sense of humor.
With the sense of humor.
It weren't funny. He's so intense, I'm telling you. It's dead frightening.
Must be very difficult.
Well, that dark side of his is starting to get up my nose. It's this far away from a Lucy lamping.
Well, try not to lose your patience.
Why did it...
Oh, I'm trying hard.
By the way, Hal doesn't ever come out with any unfamiliar names when he's like that, does he?
Huh?
You know, he doesn't start talking about people or places that have nothing to do with the case.
No, I can't say he does. I'll tell you something he did say, though. He said death were inspired and beautiful.
Really?
Why are you so interested anyways?
Yeah, why are you so interested?
Oh, no reason, really. It's just... Well, if he does mention any strange names while it's like that, be sure to let me know. On the quiet, okay?
On the quiet?
Yes, it'd be better for Al that way.
How come?
Man, this voice hurts my throat.
Take some water! Take some water! I'm sorry!
It just would. Trust me.
I warn you, he's gonna come back, so for the case he comes back, I'll let you know ahead of time which case it is. But...
Cool.
You're
Then I'll
gonna
have
want
tons of water.
Yeah, please.
Well, okay, if you say so.
Just make sure he doesn't find out you're reporting to me.
You are very suspicious, sir. I don't know. Does he seem suspicious to you?
A little bit.
I really thought something else was gonna happen in this case. I guess it happens in a different case.
I heard the whip crack. File number 4. The
Walking corpse. I wanted to ask you about what you thought about this case.
It was definitely an interesting case. I was not expecting the victim to be the one perpetrating it.
That's what seems to be cool about this game for you, is that, like, it's pretty easy to follow the clues, but they always throw in one final twist.
They avert your expectations.
Yeah, I remember when I was first playing the game for the first time, that twist blew my mind. And even still, it blows my mind. Because it's just
Although it does make sense.
It makes sense. No. They laid out all the clues from the beginning. It's just that you would never suspect the victim. It was basically like an orchestrated suicide. Anyway.
That's exactly what it is.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Goodbye!